Genda ku YouTube yange.
They, like fellow NATO countries, promised
Genda
to
ku
provide
YouTube
heavier,
yange.
more advanced weapons despite warnings from Moscow. The UN Secretary General is in Moscow ahead of a planned meeting with the Russian President on Tuesday. Antonio Guterres will also meet with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov before travelling to Kyiv. The summit has been arranged in the hopes of pushing a diplomatic channel between Ukraine and Russia. Our diplomatic editor James Bates reports now from the UN.
The UN Secretary-General meeting with Turkey's President Erdogan in Ankara before flying on to Moscow. Mr. Guterres is trying to build on previous Turkish diplomatic efforts with a new peace initiative involving direct shuttle diplomacy, first in Moscow and then on to Kyiv.
He thinks that there is an opportunity now and will make the most of what we can. A lot of diplomacy is about timing, about finding out when is the right time to speak with a person, to travel to a place, to do certain things, and he is going in that anticipation. There's a real opportunity that is now availing itself, and we'll see what we can make of it.
The Secretary-General last week called for a truce over Orthodox Easter, a call that fell on deaf ears.
I call on Russians and Ukrainians to silence the guns and forge a path to safety for so many at immediate risk.
The Secretary-General continues to call for a ceasefire. But that's very unlikely to happen. The Ukrainian side don't want the conflict to become frozen with Russian troops stationed inside their country. And after 2 months of war, Moscow has made very limited gains. So truce now would be very hard for the President to declare a victory. I asked Russia's deputy ambassador to the UN whether a ceasefire was a possibility.
We don't think that ceasefire is a good option right now, because the only advantage it will give possibility for Ukrainian forces to regroup, to stage mobilization, like I told you. So frankly, it's not up to me to decide, but I don't see any reasons on this right now.
The conflict has cost many lives. Parts of Ukraine have been completely destroyed, leaving ruined buildings and mangled metal. But despite all this, the guns still seem unlikely to be silenced yet. James Bays, Al Jazeera, at the United Nations.
Russian media outlets have reported a series of blasts in Moldova's breakaway region of Transnistria. The explosions reportedly happened at the Ministry of State Security building in the city of Tiraspol. So far, there have been no reports of casualties. Transnistria is supported by Russia and is on Ukraine's western border. Still ahead on Al Jazeera, why Germany is looking to take a step back in time to offer its citizens a sense of reassurance and protection. Also, 2 pilots attempt to create aviation history by swapping planes mid-air. We look at how well it went.
The journey has begun. The FIFA World Cup is on its way to Qatar. Book your travel package today.
Hello there. We're going to see the unsettled weather conditions across East Asia intensify in the days ahead. We've got these pulses of heavy rain moving out of eastern areas of China across the Korean Peninsula and into Japan. So some very heavy rain expected here. We could see some flash flooding from that. Now, as that system shifts its way further east, we're going to see a cool down in cities like Beijing as well as Seoul and Shanghai. But for places like Hong Kong, it is going to remain rather hot and humid. The temperature touching up into the early 30s through to Wednesday. Now, as we move across to South Asia, it's a story of heat once again for northern and central areas of India, as well as Pakistan and Bangladesh. We could still see a sharp thunderstorm or two here, but it's not as dramatic as it has
Jeff,
been recently.
twetaaga kutandika okwogera ku kintu
West Coast and places like Kerala.
sokolonde topic Jeff.
In the days to come. But it is all about the heat. We could see some heat of the day thunderstorms rolling across some of those Indian states. But by the time we get into the middle of the week, we are expecting temperatures to touch up to nearly the mid-40s, that relentless heat continuing through to the weekend.
Qatar Airways, official airline of the journey.
When the news breaks,
Still looking through the building, trying to see if there's anybody else trapped inside.
when people need to be heard, and until I went to Morocco. It definitely changed my life in a good way.
With exclusive interviews and in-depth reports,
Hardly anybody left
Eh?
here because
Al Jazeera has teams on the ground to bring you more award-winning documentaries and live news.
Where do I come in, my man?
Welcome back, you're watching Al Jazeera with me, Sahel Rahman. A reminder of our top stories. Twitter's board has unanimously decided to sell the company to Elon Musk in a deal worth around $44 billion. If it goes through, shareholders will be paid more than $54
Yeah, an exo.
critical infrastructure, including rail lines.
Yeah, an exo fish.
Hello. Love station. Genius. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Dino. Jagana kurabe. Tima kongulabe. Jagana tima. Latima. Kubisa na toli. Mwana kwe njagala nkulabe. Kubisa bya toli.
Purchase your tracks today.
Na. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi. Kusima. Zatata. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi. Njagala nkulabe. Kubentoli goja. Beautiful jangweno. Njagala nkulabe keno. Jangwena kasimu. Kakubo kwatewe. Mr. Dina, man this one. Man this one. Man. Yeah. Man this one. Itaeka. Jangweno. Itaeka nkulabe. Itaeka nkulabe. Itaeka nkulabe. Itaeka nkulabe.
Purchase.
Yeah, an exo fish on that beat. Raspon a bit.
Hello. Love station. Genius. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Dino. Jagana nkulabe. Tima kongulabe. Jagana tima. Latima. Hello. Love station. Genius. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. You know, Jagara Kurabe. Tima Kongulabe. Hello. Love station. Genius. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. You know, Jagara Kurabe. Tima Kongulabe. Jagana Tima. Latima. Kubisana Toli. Jagara Kurabe. Kubisana Toli.
Purchase your tracks today.
Na. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Ta. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Jagara Kurabe. Kuventoli. Goja. Beautiful. Jangweno. Jagara Kurabe keno. Jangwena Kasimu. Kakubo kwa tewe.
Purchase.
Love station. Genius. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. You know, Jagara Kurabe. Tima Kongulabe. Jagana Tima. Latima. Kubisana Toli. Jagara Kurabe. Kubisana Toli.
Purchase your tracks today.
Na. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Ta. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jeji. Jagara Kurabe. Kuventoli. Goja. Beautiful. Jangweno. Jagara Kurabe keno. Jangwena Kasimu. Kakubo kwa tewe.
Purchase.
Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon. You know, Jagara Kurabe. Tima Kongulabe. Jagana Tima. Latima. Kubisana Toli. Jagara Kurabe. Kubisana Toli. Kubisana Toli. Mwana kwe Jagara Kurabe. Kubisana Toli.
Purchase your tracks today.
Na. Evambi jangu jeji. Evambi jangu jendi, evambi jangu jendi kusima. Zatata, evambi jangu jendi, evambi jangu jendi. Evambi kulabe, kuventoli goja, beautiful jangweno, njagala nkulabe keno. Jangwena kasimu, kakubo kwa dewe. Mr. Dina, find this one. Find this one. Yeah.
Amen.
Itae
Shikira.
Jangweno. Itae kankulabe. Kankulabe. Itae kankulabe. Itae kankulabe.
Purchase.
Tama.
Sabule?
Hello.
Tama.
Love station.
Tama.
Yeah, love.
Yeah, love, Ramon. Yeah, love. Yeah, love, Ramon.
Dino.
Njagala nkulabe. Tima gwongulabe.
Gwejagana tima.
Latima. Okubisa natoli. Mwana gwe njagala nkulabe. Okubisa byadoli.
Purchase your tracks today.
Na. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi kusima. Zatata. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi jangu jendi. Evambi kulabe. Kuventoli.
It's Popo Beats. It's Popo Beats.
Kwoli Jeff ololimba lupya. Lwimba lwa Fande lupya. Salongo. Haji Salongo. Haji Jeff. Oya, eyo tuni Haji Jeff.
Yeah, baby, come on, tell you something. I wanted to tell ya.
Alhaji Sauda.
On your mind, but I can't fight to say ya. But the police they gonna need the right time, but I'm scared how much they like. Somebody you like, now you think you're gonna do it. I promise I can do it.
Yal. Yatima, yeah.
Yeah.
Alhaji Mulengere ya Rabbi. That haki. Bakugamba tata wa haki. Nanyinizi haki kwali kumukutu banange. Ara mwana natambuze ekiwato. Nanyinizi haki. Nanyinizi haki.
You're so pretty, so sexy, so nice, yeah. Yeah, baby, I promise I can do better. Baby, I promise I can do better. Oh yeah, I promise I can do better. Baby, I promise I can be better. Better than need us, you baby, better than need can. Baby,
Beautiful.